Yes, he read them to me.
And did you understand them?
Yes.
Are there any you'd like to go over at this time?
No.
Under number 6, there is a recommendation. It is only a recommendation. I can impose it from the maximum penalty. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Has anyone made any promise or threats to make you sign this form?
No.
Are you doing so freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And it says under number 11 on 5/30/2021 in Orting, Washington, I drove a motor vehicle. My license was suspended in the 3rd degree in a vehicle without a transfer title over 45 days after the date I was required by law to have said title transferred. Is that a true and correct statement?
Yes.
And I guess we need to get the final version of this. I don't see score on here, unless it's visitor. Is a representative from SCORE on? And Mr. Flood, are you currently employed?
No, not at this time.
And do you anticipate being employed soon?
As soon as I can get my license back.
Okay. And what's your normal employment?
I was working at FedEx as a package handler.
Okay.
I do get Social Security for my son.
Okay. When was the last time that you had work at FedEx?
It just ended. So July 2nd was my last paycheck. Yeah, pretty much since I got my car impounded, I had no way to get the 5 from Orting, so.
Right. Make a finding to plead guilty is knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily made. Based on the police report, I will make the finding that on or about May 30th, 2021, in Orting, Washington, defendant committed the crime, driving while license suspended 3rd degree. Make that finding of guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Also make the finding that on or about 5/30/2021, Orting, Washington, the defendant, Laura Triplett, failed to transfer title within 45 days. It's required to make that finding of guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. And is there anything you'd like to say to me before I proceed to sentencing, ma'am?
No, sir.
All right. And I'm going to, by the agreement of the parties, I'm going to dismiss cause number IA04911219, which are both infractions. Oh, you want to dismiss the infractions on? Based on the questioning, I don't think Blazina does apply. She recently had employment. She expects to get employment again. However, I understand her current financial plight. And so the sentencing is going to be as follows. Sentence suspended for a period of 12 months. However, the case is closed upon payment. Uh, 90 days in jail, 90 days suspended. 90 days suspended. $1,000 fine with 1,000 suspended, and a $1,000 $750 suspended. The fine is $250. The assessments are $225. Criminal convictions fee is $43, and the criminal traffic fee is $102. You are allowed to make payments on this of $25 a month starting in 30 days. If you cannot make a payment, what I want you to do is simply contact us, and we are going to work with you on this, okay? Because I do understand you're in a significant financial plight, and I'm willing to work with you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, so I have signed this order, and other than that, has your address changed?
No.
All right, you're free to go then. Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, thanks. Have a good day.
That's the one here. All right, at least they're trying. All right, who's next?
Looks like Mr.
All right, and we do have Mr. Butts in the courtroom. Are we ready on that matter? Mr. Walls?
Yeah, Mr. Butts is here on driving suspended third degree. He is still suspended.
Mr. Butts, is there a chance you're going to get your license back? What do you think?
Yeah, I can get my license back. I just got to pay
Okay.
wait for some money to come in. I got money to pay them all.
Will 90 days help you?
And it is helping for sure.
Okay, and are you willing to waive your right to a speedy trial?
Yes.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this for the November 16th trial date, our pre-trial date, and hopefully we can get that resolved then, okay?
Yeah, if I can get in.
Mr. Rosa, can you have him fill out that, pretty please, fill out that speedy trial form?
I was multitasking. I was
1116.
And you're in the next case, I believe Mr. Capone, or the,
Yeah, Judge Bergstedt, can you hear me?
Go. Yes.
Huh. I'm glad you figured it out. I'm going to sign this order, then I'm going to turn the courtroom over to you for a few moments, and I'll take a recess, okay?
Okay, very good.
So let me just sign this order here, and I will be out of your hair. And it's nice seeing you, by the way.
Good to see you.
All right. So, Barb, we're calling the Tegan Coons case, and Judge Bergstedt's going to take over the courtroom, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, this is a matter of Tegan Kuhn. Is the defendant present?
He's right here, Your Honor. Hello.
Okay. And what's the status on this matter?
Your Honor, we're getting close to a resolution, I hope. So I'm going to ask for another set over.
Okay, prosecutor's position on that?
action we are negotiating.
So there is hope of some future resolution.
I think we're getting closer.
Okay. How much time do we need on that?
I think 30 days should be enough.
Okay, and what's the court date that puts us to?
That'd be September 6th.
21st.
21st.
21st, and then at 10 o'clock.
Yes.
And Ms. Tegan, do you agree to waive your right to speedy trial for the period of this continuance?
Yes.
Very good. Any questions? Okay, we'll set this over until September 21st at 10 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a nice day.
You too. Okay, we'll turn this over to Judge Curry then.
Thank you.
Barely got back there. Barely. What's that?
It was quick.
That's Mr. Betts waiting for.
Mr. Betts is gone.
Oh, he's right there. This one and this one. Okay. Make sure we're okay with that. And we have Mr. Nair here.
I believe Mr. Huff is online. Tends to file an NOA in that case.
All right, Mr. Huff.
Your Honor, good morning. Andrew Huff for Mr. Nair. I have literally just been retained about 5 minutes ago.
Mr. Nair, come on forward. Yes, right there. Thank you. All right, and Mr. Huff, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I've literally been retained about 5 minutes ago, so I still need to file my documents with the court. But I did want to appear today, obviously, and put my oral notice of appearance on the record, and then set what I believe will be a trial date, unless the court's willing to set this for a pre-trial, which would be my request.
Well, Your Honor, given the history of the case, the city would ask that we set a trial date. I was looking at September 16th. I would ask that we put readiness / pretrial on September 7th, just to make sure that all the parties are all on the same page.
Mr. Huff?
Well, Your Honor, unfortunately, I have 2 motion hearings on September 17th, the following day. So I don't think the 16th would work for a trial date. However, if the court has trial the following week, the week of the 20th, I am open that entire week.
The 23rd would be. I could do the 23rd.
Yeah, the 23rd would work for the defense.
Yeah, I don't have those dates. I do have October 14th, October 21st.
October
Looks like
14th works for the defense, Your Honor.
I'm unavailable that day, the 21st. Hold on.
21st would work for the defense as well.
Yeah, the 21st would work.
Right, we're going to set this for the 21st. And so we want pretrial then when?
Why don't we put it September 21st?
Okay, pretrial September 21st. Trial on October 21st. And I think, Mr. Nair, are you available on that date? All right. Mr. Nair has indicated he's available. All right. Anything else that we need to do then?
What's the time for the pretrial on the September 21st?
The pretrial we hold at 10 o'clock a.m. And
Okay.
On the pretrial, we can allow that by Zoom, or by app, by the Blue Jeans app, and allow Mr. Nair to appear at that one on the Blue Jean app. All the other ones, I'm going to require the mandatory appearance.
Okay. So the October 21st, that's the trial date. That's not a
Yes.
readiness date. That's the trial date.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll do readiness and pretrial on 9/21.
Okay, perfect. I think that is it from the defense at this point. I'll go ahead and get my paperwork filed with the court and the prosecutor immediately, and then we'll get going on this.
Especially a substitution of counsel.
Yep, you got it. We'll do.
All right. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it.
Mr.
Have a good
Nair, you're
afternoon.
free to go. Have a good day. Thank you, Mr. Huff. I will see you on the 21st and the 21st, apparently.
Okay. We'll see you then. Have a good afternoon.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Walls, as well.
Thank you. Have a good day.
And Your Honor, I know Mr. Capone and his attorney have been waiting.
Okay. Let's.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
For the record, Reese Merrill on behalf of Mr. Capone, who's present on the Zoom call. Or not Zoom, I suppose, but on the video call.
And what are we doing with Mr. Capone today?
I was on for change of plea, Your Honor.
All right. And we have the plea on this. Let's see. Here it is. All right. I appear to have that signed by Mr. Capone and Wells. All right. So you may do your colloquy, sir. Counsel?
Sorry, Your Honor.
I thought I lost you for a second. I didn't see you.
No. I'm not familiar with the way the court wants me to do this in this.
Just go ahead and go through the what you've gone through with your client on the,
sure,
on
okay.
the statement of plea of guilty.
Sorry, Your Honor. Yes, it's been gone over with Mr. Capone. I believe he is making a knowing, intelligent, voluntary waiver of his rights, understands the trial rights he'd be giving up, and understands the maximum penalty in this case.
All right, Mr. Capone, can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
And did you have
Yep.
the opportunity to go through the statement of defendant on plea of guilty with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
And you understood those really important constitutional rights under number 5?
Yep.
Now, are there any you'd like to go over at this time?
No, sir.
And number 6, there's a recommendation. It is only a recommendation. I can impose it to the maximum penalty. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone made any promise or threats to make you sign this form?
Nope.
Are you doing so freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And it says under number 11, on or about 4/24/2021, I drove a motor vehicle in the city of Orting, Washington, in a manner that was most negligent and endangered or was likely to endanger any person or property and exhibited the effects of having consumed alcohol. Is that a true and correct statement?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll make a finding that the plea of guilty is knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily made, and I will read the police report.
Thank you, Your Honor.
It's not, no, it's not one. They have the language I need, though. And what are we doing with the supplying liquor to a minor or minor possession or consumption?
I believe that in contemplation of this plea, Your Honor, the city will be dismissing those charges.
All right. So that's under this cause. I will make the finding that on or about April 24, 2021, in Orting, Washington, the defendant committed the crime of negligent driving in the first degree in violation of RCW 46615249, and make that finding of guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Is there anything you'd like to tell me before I proceed to sentencing, sir?
No, Your Honor, I believe Mr. Capone can treat this as a learning experience, and it's a agreed recommendation. We just ask that you follow it. I think that he's accepting responsibility, Your Honor, and would like to move past this.
Thank you. I don't know yet on those. I haven't asked for that one. And Mr. Wells, you indicated that you're dismissing the criminal cases under 1A0416990 and the infractions.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And that would be under, yeah. All right. Sentencing then is as follows. There's a couple of questions. Mr. Capone, you're currently employed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so the sentence is 90 days in jail with 90 days suspended, suspension for a period of 24 months. Condition of $1,000 fine with $750 suspended, pay $250 for the fine, $225 for the assessment. Criminal conviction fee is $43 and the criminal traffic fee is $102.50. Because this is a bit of money, if you need to make payments, we allow making payments, and you can start at $50 a month starting in 30 days, okay? If you can't ever make a payment, just call us up and we'll work with you, all right?
Okay.
You shall not drive a motor vehicle without a valid license and proof of liability insurance. You shall not drive or be in physical control of a motor vehicle with an alcohol concentration of 0.08 or more, or a THC concentration of 5 nanograms per milliliter of whole blood or higher within 2 hours after driving. No criminal law violations or alcohol-related infractions. If there is one, comply with the mandatory ignition interlock service requirements as imposed by the DOL. Obtain a substance abuse expended alcohol assessment from a Washington State approved agency within 60 days. Begin any treatment that they recommend within that time period. Also do a DUI victims panel within that time, and an ADIS if you're not required to do treatment for alcohol. Any questions so far?
You said suspended for 3 months. I don't understand what you mean.
I suspended for 3 months. I said
I
that
heard.
your
sorry.
sentence is suspended for 24 months. In other words, we're not imposing the 90 days in jail, and we're not imposing the $1,000 fine. We're only imposing $250 of it. The remaining $750 is what they call suspended. That means it's essentially held on your head to keep you in compliance, held over your head to keep you in compliance.
Okay.
Okay, it's not that we're suspending your license. Any questions other than that?
No, sir.
Mr. Merrill?
I believe that's all, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I have dismissed the other criminal cases, and I have dismissed the infractions per the agreement.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you to the
All right,
city.
thank you. Have a good day then.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, Ms. Bowden is here also on the John McMain's case. I believe we have an agreement to set that over. I'm not sure which date she needed.
Did you have that other one as a dismissal there? Let me just find which cause number I'm dismissing. Here, I'll stay here. Dismiss. Number. 1A041. All right, that should cover it all.
Daniel Patterson? No.
All right, we are doing what now?
On the John McMain's case, there's an agreement to set this over. I wasn't sure exactly when Ms. Bowden wants to set it over. Anytime.
Ms. Bowden?
Yes,
What
Your
time
Honor,
do
we are working diligently on his license.
Yeah, so what
And
date do you want?
I'd like 60 days out.
All right, 60 days, good enough? All right, so that's, that'd be October 19th?
The one issue with that I see is that it looks like the reckless driving suspension is scheduled to go into effect beginning of October, so it might
But
actually
he
make
can get
sense
an
to-
ORL.
Okay, that's fine.
We're going to try
So
to
does
keep
October
him
19th
licensed.
work for you then?
It works perfectly for me, Your Honor.
All right, so we'll do it on October 19th. And is your client willing to waive the speedy trial to start on that time period?
Absolutely.
All right. I will so order.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm leaving you now. Bye-bye.
Your Honor, we could address the Morris.
I do not. Is
Janenka
SCORE
case.
online yet? Hold on a second. Let's see if they're here. SCORE is online. Good morning. So we'll probably want to take the in custody.
Does Mr. Resnick need to speak to him probably?
Can you go back and have Devin put Mr. Rusnick in a room with SCORE 2, it looks like? It says SCORE 2.
Score 2. And I believe we can address the Morris Janenka case. That is Mr. White's case.
Good morning, Your Honor.
My understanding is we're agreeing to set this over for 30 days to finish the evaluation.
It is defense's request, Your Honor. We're asking for the September 7th date.
All right. That's Morris Jenica.
Yes, Your Honor.
That you're looking at the September 21st date?
September 7th, please. I'll actually be out of.
Oh, 7th?
Yes. Hopefully we can get it done by then. He's completed the interview portion. He just needs to get into the UA.
Okay. I'll note this is an excluded period for speedy trial purposes. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I
Have a
sign
nice
the order.
All right.
If we could address Trevante Bell.
All right.
Mr. Bell is here pro se on a driving suspended third-degree charge. It does appear that his license is now clear. He just needs to retest.
Okay. Mr. Bell, do you think you'll be able to retest in the next 30 days, or is
Sir, yes, sir. I'm just trying to find a vehicle with insurance.
Although it shows he's eligible, there may be a civil accident judgment that's holding it up. Do you know about that?
Yes, sir. I actually got that taken care of. I have made payments. Yes, sir.
Okay. So if we set this 30 days, you think you can get it done, or do you need longer?
Let's try a little bit longer just to be safe.
All right. So how about let's go October 19th?
Yes, sir.
All right. And are you willing to waive your speedy trial to have that date?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we're going to do that. Has your address changed, Mr. Bell?
No, sir.
All right, so we're going to send this to the address, and you're free to go. Have a great day.
All right, you guys have a wonderful one.
Then if we could address Jorge Figueroa Arenas. Jorge Arenas, are you there?
I see him, I think.
Hello?
And Mr. Arenas, can you hear us?
I can. I just had to turn on the microphone.
Okay.
And Your Honor, he is in a similar situation. He has cleared his license, but needs to retest.
Mr. Figueroa Arenas, what time period do you think you need to retest and get your license?
Since the last court date, I went online and there was no like appointments available, and I just kept trying every day until I finally got one. It's set for September 9th, so I could go and retest over at a driving facility. So anytime after that.
So September 21 will be good?
Yeah, that will work.
All right, and you're willing to waive your speedy trial to that date?
I am.
Okay, so we'll do that. And has your address changed?
It has not.
All right. We've signed off on that order, setting this for 9/21 at 10 o'clock a.m., and we'll send it to your address, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're free to go.
Have a good day.
Joshua Gellenbeck.
Present.
Your Honor, Mr. Gellenbeck is here on driving suspended third degree. He looks like it does look like there's a civil judgment that potentially is holding him up. He does need to retest as well.
Mr. Gellenbeck, are you aware of that civil judgment?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you able to get that in a time period, and do you think you'll be able to get your license back soon?
Yes. So I have a appointment scheduled with Department of Licensing on the 7th of September.
Okay. And what about the civil judgment issue? Is that holding it up?
I need to contact the court to find out what it is. From what I was told, it was a wreck. I was not the person driving the vehicle. It was my ex-girlfriend. Sadly, the vehicle was in my name, though.
Okay.
So I am being held responsible for it. So I need to talk to the court and find out a resolution for it. Yeah. And once that is done,
if he's not the driver, they're suspending.
So our court can't do anything about that. DOL should have the contact information for the attorney on the other side, and you would need to contact them. Okay. And you may need to contact your insurance company as well. They may be able to help you with that. It's okay. DOL is. It's unclear if that's holding up your license or not. But you definitely should talk to DOL about that and try to get information from them, because it might.
All right, so what I'm going to do, though, just to give you some time on this, I'd like to set this for October 19th, if you're willing to waive your right to a speedy trial to that time. I couldn't hear you. You went in and out.
Yes, Your Honor, I would.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and continue this to October 19th, 2021 at 10 a.m. I'm going to indicate you waive your right to speedy trial. The new commencement date is going to be on 10/19/2021. All right?
Okay.
Has your address changed?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so we'll send it to that address. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Next case, Keith Kimball.
Mr. Kimball?
Yeah.
Good morning.
So this
Morning.
this is a failure to transfer title case. Have you transferred the title on that car?
No, I got rid of that vehicle because it was just too much problems. It caused me too much problems. I didn't get a title with the vehicle when I bought it,
Right.
which is my first vehicle I ever bought. The guy kind of stiffed me on it, honestly, but I didn't have it. Yeah, so no.
Do you have documentation that you got rid of it, a sales receipt or something like that?
I mean, not offhand, no. Or like a bill of sale or something.
Yeah, bill of sale.
Honestly, no, not on me personally.
Can you get one?
Can you get something like that to show that you don't have the car anymore?
Yeah, I can get it. I won't be able to get it right this moment, though.
No, why don't we set this over for 30 days, call it an excluded period for speedy trial purposes, and give you a chance to do that.
So if you could just, I think the easiest is if you could send that to the court.
Okay.
And
How
then
do I
get
go?
this resolved next time.
So that 30-day date is going to be September 21st.
Okay.
And it's on 2 charges. One's a infraction, so there's. All right, has your address changed, sir?
No.
All right.
Sir.
We'll send the notice of 9/21 at 10 o'clock a.m. to your address that we have on file, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Can I hang up now, or?
Yes.
All right. Have a good day.
You too.
Next case, if we could take Kyler Phelps.
All right. Kyler Phelps, can you hear us?
I hear you.
Mr. Phelps is here on a couple driving suspended thirds. It does appear he has cleared his license. But I believe he just needs to. I think he just needs to pay the reinstatement, but he may need to retest. The license is a little unclear.
All right. Mr. Phelps, are you aware what you have to do to finish up getting your license?
I am, sir.
What do you have to do?
I have to go to, actually, I just have to go reinstate it because I have court with Sumner, and I just pushed it back a little bit because I didn't get it in time.
All right, so if we set this out 60 days, would you be able to have your license by then?
Sure.
And are you willing to waive your right to a speedy trial for that time period? I did. It's unfortunately your microphone's cutting in and out, so I didn't hear what you said.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
All right, great. We're going to go ahead and set it for the, that would be the October 19th date at 10 o'clock a.m. And that'll be your new date for commencement for your speedy trial commencement. Is your address changed?
It has not.
All right, so we'll send your notice to that address, and other than that, you're free to go.
All right, thank you, sir. You have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
What's that now? Okay, we're going to do the in custody.
Yeah.
All right, so it's all three. Do you have? Oh, you didn't do this. You have that?
Yeah.
All 3 dates, or all 3?
I'm about to.
8/22, and since we need somebody's writing that they can't read. Well, I meant yours, you could. It was mine that you. What's the in-custody's name? All right, we're calling the matter of James Martin, and that's score. Good morning. Can you hear me? Are they still on? Score's not on anymore. Can we?
We could do Allison Walker. Maybe we could try to get a hold of Score in the interim.
Did you say Brian Stewart?
Mr. Stewart, I've been trying to contact you, and you stand by. I'm going to end up talking to you privately again. But if you could do Allison Walker in the interim while we're trying to get back to
I no longer have.
All right. Let's see if we can get Julie to call Score and see what's going on. All right, Allison Walker. Can you hear us?
Yes.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Your Honor, Ms. Walker has gotten an eval, and that was the issue. We were trying to get that resolved before we go forward with this case. She's actually had it for some time with STOP. I've not received it. I've had pretty consistent communication over the last month or so with Ms. Walker, and as recently as this morning, she messaged me and said that she's had some problems. I guess the person who's supposed to release it and send it out is on vacation for a week. That being said, we can set this over 2 weeks. I'm not really sure what the issue is, why it's taken so long. Ms. Walker has actually been in an active treatment plan for almost 3 months now, so I'm kind of nonplussed as to why no documentation is forthcoming. Ms. Walker, did you ever sign a release of information?
Yeah, I did when I went down there to fill out
Not
some
for
more
me,
paperwork.
not for me, but for them.
No. For Orting Municipal Court, and it's not just my court that's having issues. It's all courts that are having issues, I guess, is what I was told this morning when I called STOP as well. Like something's not being, like, they've had multiple complaints about like compliance reports not getting sent over, and I don't know if it's the counselors that are supposed to do that or how that works over there. They were going to look into it for me.
And Your Honor, I do see that we actually did get a compliance report for her treatment.
Yes.
We just don't have the eval. And we've had several cases on today from STOP where we're not getting documents.
Yeah, it's a STOP problem, unfortunately. We're able to collect the information. It's just they're not sending it. So you said the 7th is when you want this, Mr. Rusnick?
No, 2 weeks sounds good. Yeah. I anticipate whatever's going on with STOP, probably Orting isn't the only court that's looking for things.
That's my understanding because they said they had several people call this morning. So.
Well, the good news is we can tell you're in treatment.
I am. I do have compliance reports,
Yes.
so I am doing it.
Yes. We can tell that. Thank you. So this, we're going to continue this for 2 more weeks and see if we can get that.
Thank you.
They're supposed to try and like figure out if they can find it, and if I get it today, should I just bring it down to the courthouse?
Well, you can scan it to us. We're our scanner works, our fax works, so we'll get it if you send it to us.
Okay, perfect. Or I can email it to my lawyer too.
Yeah, if you get it to Matt, he'll also get it to us.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
All right.
You know, I might suggest, sorry she got offline, but.
Oh, we have Score back on. So can you hear us at Score? Mr. Martin, right? Okay, this is the matter of James Martin. We can't hear you right now. It looks like your mic's on, but we can't hear anybody if you're saying something.
Hello?
Oh, now I can hear you. Okay, good.
I think we have to verbally arraign him.
All right. And you are James Martin, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to go through the rights form for you, and I'm going to ask you then if you understand those rights. So go ahead and grab that form and get this going. Where's it at in here? All right. You're charged with a criminal offense that carries a possible jail sentence. You should understand you have the following rights. You're presumed innocent of any charge unless the charge is proven beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to a speedy trial. If you're held in jail before trial, you must be brought to trial within 60 days of your commencement date. If you're released from jail before trial, you must be brought to trial within 90 days of your commencement date. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have a constitutional right to a jury trial unless you specifically give up that right by signing a jury trial waiver. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I'm sorry, sir. Will you please repeat that?
No problem. You have a constitutional right to a jury trial unless you specifically give up that right by signing a jury trial waiver.
Oh, yes, sir.
You have the right to see, hear, and question all witnesses who testify against you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to call witnesses on your own behalf. You may have the court subpoena those witnesses to appear and testify at no prior expense to you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to testify on your own behalf. You also have the right to remain silent and not give any testimony or present any evidence in your defense. Your silence cannot be used against you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to be represented by an attorney of your own choosing at arraignment and at all proceedings. If after your screening it is determined you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. Even though you do not have an attorney at arraignment, you do not waive your right to have an attorney at any later proceeding. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
If you feel you cannot have a fair trial because of the bias or prejudice of a particular judge, you have the right to ask for a different judge within 10 days of assignment to that judge. You are only entitled to one change of judge. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have the right of appeal from any judgment of guilty entered by this court. To begin the appeal, you must file a written notice of appeal in this court within 30 days of the judgment. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
If you plead guilty, you give up or waive all of your rights listed above, except for the right to be represented by an attorney. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And if you are not a citizen of the United States, a plea of guilty to an offense punishable as a crime of state law may be grounds for deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States, or denial of naturalization pursuant to the laws of the United States. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. You're charged by the city of Orting that on or about August 9th, 2021, in Orting, Washington, that you committed the crime of assault in the fourth degree. To that charge, a plea of not guilty is entered. Further formal readings hereby waive. Probable cause established based on the probable cause statement. You're also charged on the same date in the city of Orting with the offense of resisting arrest. To that charge, a plea of not guilty is entered. Further formal readings hereby waive. Probable cause established based on the probable cause statement. City's position.
Your Honor, conditions have previously been set. The city is asking that those remain based on the facts of this case as well as his prior history.
We've already arraigned on the other, right? Hit and run and neg.
We did a preliminary appearance. I don't think we actually arraigned.
All right. So I will go through those two. You are also charged, and this is on 8/9/2021, with hit and run attended. To that charge, a plea of not guilty is entered. Further formal readings hereby waive. Probable cause established based on the probable cause statement. You're also charged with negligent driving in the first degree. To that charge, a plea of not guilty is entered. Further formal readings hereby waive, and probable cause is established based on the probable cause statement. I'm going to, at this point, are you employed, Mr. Martin?
Yes, sir. I have my own business.
All right. And are you currently making an income from the business?
Yes. Landscape business.
All right. And is it over $1,500 a month you're making?
It varies, sir. It varies. I do have an income. I'm only allowed to make so much because I have a check coming every month. Also.
From Social
from
Security?
SSI. Yeah.
Okay. Well, since you're on SSI, I have the authority to direct appoint Mr. Rusnick as your public offender. Mr. Rusnick, you're hereby appointed. And the city is asking for the conditions to remain.
Discuss this with Mr. Martin. He is self-employed. He has expressed to me that he does work on people's lawns and things like that, and he's not going to get an opportunity to do that if he remains in jail. I also discussed with him the conditions of release. He says he will abide by them, including coming to court as directed. He will not consume alcohol or any non-prescription drugs, including marijuana. He will as I said previously, report the court as directed. He won't drive without a license or insurance. He wanted me to stress the point that he hasn't had any bench warrants in over 20 years. I haven't independently verified that.
No.
Did you want to say something?
Yeah. I don't know if it's been 20 years, but it's been a long time. I'm not sure exact. It's been over 7 years. I know that. It's been maybe over 10 years, but I don't know about 20 years.
In any case, Mr. Martin said he'll come back to court as directed, notwithstanding whatever the timing is on the bench warrants he did accrue.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, I just would note, one of the city's concerns we mentioned at the previous hearing is that he is on probation for DUI, where he was supposed to not be drinking, supposed to comply with the court orders, and did not do that. Although in that case, it does not appear that he had warrants. He did on his prior DUI, with the last one served about 6 years ago.
All right, thank you. Well, I am going to change the bail amount from $25,000 to $10,000 cash or bond. If you are released, not to be released without TAD or scram.
Well, I'll lose everything. Sir,
let me finish this up. The next hearing is going to be 9/7 at 10 a.m. Make all court appearances, notify of any address changes, have no law violations, no alcohol or drugs, and no driving without a license and insurance. I have appointed the public defender as your attorney. You may talk. Go ahead.
Yeah, I should have said this before you. One of my clients, his name's Kyle Eldridge. He has polio. He's in a wheelchair, and a lot of times his caretakers don't help him out. And I'm a guy that he can call on to help him out when he's in need. I mean, if I don't get out here, I won't only lose my truck because it's in an impound and everything I have, all my clients, everything. And Kyle, sometimes he needs me to help him go to the bathroom, get to bed. I mean, this is true. I have no way of getting a hold of anybody. All my phone's in my truck that's in the impound. This will ruin.
As part of that, you can actually probably have your attorney call somebody to help get out. And unfortunately, it's based on the information I have. This is the least restrictive means I have of protecting the community this time. So I am going to go ahead and I have reduced the bail from $25,000 to $10,000.
Thank you.
So that means if you can get bond, it's $1,000 to bond out.
Yeah, I just won't have enough money to do that and get my truck out of impound. That's what worries me, is if I lose my truck, I lose everything. I mean, I lose my business. I mean, everything I worked so hard for, which I work way harder than anyone else, because my mind doesn't function exactly at the proper speed of everybody else. I really work hard, and I will show up to court. I will abide by all the rules. I mean, just give me a chance, please. I mean, everything's
and Mr. Martin, I wish I could, but based on the information I have, this is what I have to do. So I've reduced bail so you can bond out for $1,000. I think I'm concerned getting bonded out. Then you can work on getting your truck out of impound. Okay? And if you need to call up Mr. Rusnick, will send his number somehow.
They'll give you the phone number.
And he can
and an email.
He can contact somebody who can help you get out. All right? All right. Thank you, Mr. Martin. That concludes this hearing.
Can I talk to my attorney?
He is in court for right now, but he will get a hold of you. Can you get a hold of Ms. Gordon, Matt?
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
He's going to get a hold of you. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Probably talk to him right now if you're going to take somebody else.
Well, if we can, I don't have a problem with that. Hold on, Mr. Rusnick's going to talk to you right now. We'll take some other cases, Mr. Martin. Hold on.
Okay.
We'll tell Devin to send you back. I'm actually going to call. I actually have the studio numbers on my phone, so I can actually. I don't. Yeah. If he's back, that's fine. Yeah, Never mind. he's right there. Yeah, that's fine. I don't So need we'll to- just tell Devin. Oh. All right, Mr. Rusnick's going to get in a room, and they're going to send you over to that room. Okay.
Okay.
Who's next, Mr. Walls? If there's a non-Rusnick case.
I'm not sure who Andrew is, and I don't. There's someone listed as visitor, and then there's a Jackie Dover, which I did not see on the calendar.
All right. Let me look. Let's see if I put a note for any of those. All right. So somebody is named Andrew online. Are you here for a hearing?
Yes, Andrew Bathurst.
Oh, that's right. Mr. Bathurst is here.
Yes.
Mr. Bathurst says sometimes you kind of keep overlooking it because the last name. So next time, use your last name so we can get to you a little quicker, okay?
Yes, I'm hoping there's no next time, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, he appears to be correct. This is a driving offense charge. Mr. Bathurst is reinstated. City is moving to amend to no license on person RC 4620-017 and 139.
So the city has moved to amend the criminal case down to an infraction. Are you willing to plead committed to that infraction?
Yes.
And upon payment of $139, this case will be closed.
Thank you.
All right. And is your address changed?
No.
All right. So they will send this to you. Once you get it, you can arrange for payments, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You as well.
Is the person identified as visitor? Are you here for court?
I'm Brian Stewart's father. I know, Judge, you tried to call him earlier, but he answered, but late.
Yep. And when Mr. Rusnick comes back out, Mr. Rusnick will talk to him.
And Jackie
Yes, sir.
Dover is the victim on that case. And Mr. Slaughter is Mr. Rusnick's client as well.
All right. So we're just waiting for Mr. Rusnick to get done with this particular client, and then we will get to those others that are there. We did Marco. We did McMahon. Thought I saw Tyler Triplett on here earlier, and I don't see him now.
There was Laura Triplett.
I saw her.
I don't.
All right. So he's currently FTA and out.
We could address expired warrants.
All right.
Oh, and on the 9:30, Timothy Hockenberry, that was on for proof of here. I did see that the victim panel and the ADS had been filed, so I'd ask to strike that.
We already did.
Okay.
Because we got it. All right.
On the 10 o'clock, Aaron Bearden.
Okay.
Is an expired warrant.
And have we got the agreed order on Harvey yet?
Your Honor, seems moving to dismiss without prejudice on that.
Okay. Yes.
Next expired warrant. James Shadle.
James Shadle.
City would ask to reissue that.
Okay. All right.
And then actually Tyler Triplett is expired warrants as well. There are two. City would move to dismiss without prejudice.
All right, here's Mr. Triplets. Aaron, when did you send over the agreed order on Harvey?
I think it was Monday.
It was Monday.
Or maybe it was last week.
Oh.
It was on August 3rd. I can read.
So what was the agreement?
Amend to nuisance at 150.
Nuisance at 150. We can just take care of that right here. So go ahead and hand me one of those and I'll fill it out.
Got the order.
Yeah, okay. And we finished it. All right, so we have Mr. Stewart and Mr. Slaughter here.
I think we can do Mr. Slaughter first. I suspect Mr. Stewart's going to take a little time.
Mr. Stewart, he's the phone number, right? Okay. So we'll tell Devin, can you write it down and I'll. That Matt needs to go see Mr. Slaughter.
Yeah.
And I think that Mr. Slaughter and Mr. Stewart are the last two, correct?
Good. Yeah, I think I can probably do Mr. Slaughter.
So on the 10 o'clock, we didn't do Alex Acevedo Madreno, correct? Okay, so that's the FTA. And we didn't do Connolly, that's an FTA. Davis, Katharina. Edric again, FTA. Serving a court in open court. Interesting. What? You've been served, I think they said something to that effect. I have to have one of those. Hmm? Just, there's two people still here.
And then I've got to deal with Stewart, and that may take a little time.
So if this is a 1 month continuance, can we do it while you're in with Stewart?
I have no problem with that unless Mr. Slaughter wants me on, but I don't think he'll care. You can call me back in if he objects to that.
Yeah, put him in with with the phone number 271-30000. That's who he's going in with. You getting that? Are you telling Devin?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, the 2713. All right, Mr. Stewart, you're going in with Mr. Rusnick. So they will be sending you in a moment. Can you hear me? Mr. Stewart?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, you're going in with Mr. Rusnick here in a second, so be aware you're going into a room so he could talk with you.
Okay.
All right. And Mr. Slaughter.
Yes, sir.
According to Mr. Rusnick, you guys are continuing the case until September 21st?
Correct.
That's going to be at 10 o'clock a.m., and this is an excluded period for speedy trial purposes.
Okay.
All right, and has your address changed?
No, sir.
All right, so we'll send it to that address. Thank you.
Okay.
You're free to go.
Thank you.
So that one is done. I'm actually lucky I had a well, no, I mean, September, I'm just right. I would have been able to make the 16th, but after that, that's only because I set it out. And by the way, I still have Thursday set out because I didn't tell Linda. So I'll be coming down here and working with Jim on Thursday. I'm picking up a table.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. I'm having Ed do that. I heard that Jim has moved to South Carolina. Our bailiff.
We're losing officers.
Oh.
We've got Jim leaving. Phil Taylor's leaving. Phil Taylor's gone next year.
Huh.
Got two others that are gonna have them. And she.
There's a lot of
Well, is
And
Connor coming down?
Connor will be here.
Yeah.
They have a lot of officers from Seattle.
Is that where? No, they came from Federal Way, Connor, right?
No, Gina.
Gina came from Federal.
No, Gina came from.
Oh, Gina came. We do have one from Seattle. Yeah. They said that the difference here is they wave to you here with more than one finger.
Well, according to Turner, that doesn't.
This one. Men, you can't live with them. Their bodies float.
Now he says he just lost his bowling badge.
Oop. always your. Jamal Adams' son?
Really? Yes. I thought he was gonna get tagged.
Well, it was funny because I think that's what the CF did negotiate through the press yesterday.
Well, yeah.
All that, well, we're gonna just thing. 4-year deal. Highest paid safety.
Yeah. Well, I just
Okay. All right, Mr. Stewart, are you ready? What are we doing?
This will be an SOC on Mr. Stewart.
Yes.
Okay.
That it says Jackie Dover. That's Miss Dover, but Stewart is actually on a 271.
Right.
Okay.
He's there.
Okay.
I see him, actually.
Okay, great. And get to the right. This is Brian Stewart. 1A0178-034.
Did you email us the SSE already?
Should be, yeah.
Julie?
What? No, to you. I can send it to Julie. You want me to send it to Julie? Okay.
I'm signing off and it's all done.
Okay,
Can
so
you just send it over? Thank you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let's take it with Aaron's signature.
Can I go ahead with the call quick?
You may.
Thank you. Mr. Stewart has accepted elected to enter into an SOC with the city. Essentially, Mr. Stewart understands that what this is a contract he and the city of Orting are into. Set forth in the contract are certain conditions with he must comply upon his successful performance of his obligations under the SOC in 24 months' time. That a city will then perform their obligations and dismiss this matter with prejudice. In order to avail himself of an SOC, Mr. Stewart must by definition waive a number of important constitutional rights, specifically the right to go to trial, the right to a jury trial, the right to have witnesses testify on his behalf, the right to confront and cross-examine witnesses who testify against him, the right to remain silent at trial, and most importantly, because this is an SOC, his right to a speedy trial. He is making those waivers knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily. He is aware of the potential maximum liability should he fall short and sustain a conviction for this charge. He is also stipulating to the admissibility of a police report. He understands what that means is should he fall short of his obligations and at some point before 24 months, the SOC is revoked by the court for noncompliance, and that essentially the stipulated police report will be looked at and reviewed by yourself or whoever's on the bench, and that'll be essentially his trial. In all likelihood, he will be found guilty, and that's it. Essentially, he understands that at this point he is not. If he is found in violation, the SOC is revoked. He doesn't get another second bite at the apple regarding going to trial. That being said, I believe we covered all the bases, and Mr. Stewart understands what he's doing, and I think that's it.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Stewart, did you understand what your attorney just told me?
I sure did. Yes.
And you went through that stipulated order of continuance thoroughly with him, is that correct? And you understand that?
As well.
What's that?
He actually has a copy.
And you have a copy of that as well? Mr. Stewart, can you hear me?
I sure can, yes.
Okay. So according to that, the document you signed, that you're entering a contract between you and the city. You're agreeing to fulfill certain requirements in exchange. If you fulfill those requirements, the city is moving to dismiss. You understand that?
Okay.
And one of the requirements is that you cannot possess a firearm, or you're asking for an independent order to that effect, Mr. Walls? Ineligibility to possess a firearm?
Isn't there an order in place already?
Okay. All right. So you cannot possess firearms, and if you do, then this order will simply be violated, and very likely I'd make a finding of guilty by reading the police report. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Mr. Stewart, I haven't heard you because your network is fading in and out, so I don't know if you heard what I said. And the question is this the way you wish to proceed at this time?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, your network comes in and out, so I can't tell if you're seeing me or not. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off on the SOC. Has your address changed?
I currently have a mailing address, but I don't have a permanent residence.
What's your mailing address?
113 Williams Boulevard Northeast.
What city?
Orting, Washington.
Okay. All right. Thank you. You're free to go. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And are we recalling the no contact order? Is that what we're doing?
No, it's no hostile contact.
It
I
already
think it's
was.
already been, yeah,
Okay.
it's already in place as no hostile.
Yeah.
I think the 1099-040 where it gets it on the firearm.
All right. I'm afraid to tell you that ends this calendar. And
All
we
right.
have one visitor. Oh, that was Mr. Stewart's father still on. That's the only one I see on here.
Okay.
All right. So we can, how do we end this here? Right. We have ended the hearing.
Nice. Well, there's a spring in my step walking out of this courtroom today. So I'm going to say, is that off?
Yes. You don't get to answer a writ of mandamus?
My God, my God. I don't know what that poor fellow thinks he's getting himself into, but I can't
What?
talk about it, but man, he's going to earn every penny.
You are the only one here. Well, let's, hold on. I'm the only one here, so.
You know, I did have a couple of emails with him. He seemed like Puff. He seemed like a nice guy. You said
does.
you know him?
I've worked with him before.